run up, get your shit pop. Bet this automatically, your head looking like a drop top. Yes, I got a coffee cup, but it's lean up in this soda pop. You better watch your...
Welcome to the Unforgivable Podcast. This is your host, Cake, aka Can B. The King has arrived. Go ahead, hit that like, subscribe button, and if you're tuning in, let me get a drop from the Legion. How come a nigga ain't into his prime? Still getting better after all this time. These niggas killers, they saying they lying. Only thing I see him killing is time. 1 in a million, I'm still on the grind. 1 in a million, I'm still on the grind. 1 in a million, I'm still on the... Boy, J. Cole is a dog. He's a dog. Like Pac McAfee said, he's a dog. He got his money up, his dreams up, ambitions, aspirations, everything going up, man. He really did it by the grace of God. All right, so like the King says, welcome to the show. This evening, we're going to be talking about some bunch of different topics. We're going to be talking about finances in terms of how to change your skills, your talent, whatever you're good at, into a passive income. Things like home cooking. I just watched the Gordon Ramsay episode, and it just inspired me to cook. So that's what I've been doing. I've been cooking for my sister the last couple of days. She like it. I don't know. I don't really like to cook for people, but she likes it. So that's my approval to start a cooking business. We'll see. Stay tuned. Then we'll get into modern money management. Okay, talking about envisioning what you want for your own life, your own lifestyle, your family, what you want in your future, your mama, your sisters, your cousins, whoever you care about, getting them something that they can hang on to, not only just financially, but just being there as a provider. I'm going to kind of get into a guy that I listened to, Anthony O'Neill, around the table. He kind of goes into the logistics of different side hustles that you can get into, to where you can make some money, some passive income. You know, that way working a regular 9 to 5 ain't the only thing you're doing. It's about teaching, man. At the end of the day, this podcast is about sharing and caring, love, and caring, red hot takes and debates, and most of all, loving all. So make sure we love all, teach, learn. I know we all got a lot. I know we all some quote-unquote grown-ass adults. But we got a lot to learn, It don't matter how old, how young you are. Believe me, there is plenty to learn. First things first, I want to ask the Legion a quick question. What's some of y'all's favorite home-cooked meals? You know, when you go back home and you're like, Mama, or Papa, or Grandmama, G-Mama, make me some of that home-cooked meal, baby. What do y'all ask for? Let me know what y'all think in the Legion section down below. How many of my kings out here love to make some money? Even if you don't like to make, even if you just want to be happy, how many of y'all like to be happy? Better be every single damn one of y'all that's listening in. And if you ain't about your stacks, and if you want to get about your stacks, my brother, this podcast is for you. And we're going to talk about how to make your skills into a passive income. How to make money from the things that you like to do. Some guys are already doing it. That's fine and dandy. Be happy with what you're doing. At the end of the day, I just want all my kings to be happy with what they're doing. Okay? So for all my guys who aren't doing what they love to do, what are they excited to do, this is something that's going to help you out. So being able to teach what you know. We got a lot of guys out there who are like, oh, well, I don't know nothing. Or if you are like that, get to know you. Get to know who you are. You're more than what you know. You got a whole temple around you. Get to know your temple. Okay? Teaching what you know is something that speaks out to me tremendously. Okay? Because for a while, I didn't think I was that intelligent enough. But I thought long and hard, it took me a while to kind of figure out that I just wasn't. It's not that I'm not intelligent. I'm capable of learning all types of different skills and things. It was the fact that I was lazy, okay? I'm afraid to admit it, but I was lazy, and a lot of people are. So being able to find that motivation to kind of get back into it is super important. Find your why. Find your why. Once you find your purpose, your reasoning for waking up in the morning, go with that. It doesn't matter if it's just taking care of somebody or if it's taking care of your own mental health. As long as you are still able to wake up, draw breath on this earth, put on some clothes, brush your teeth, as long as you are able to do that, live. Live, man. Ain't got nothing else to do but to live. Now, whether how you live is up to you. You know what I'm saying? If you want the bare minimum, you can have the bare minimum, but fine. But as for the king and his legion, we're going to be rolling in stacks. We're going to be rolling in dough. And I'm going to show you exactly how to get that in the dough right now. So teaching what you know, selling classes on what you know. You can teach somebody right now on a skill that you know, and really you can kind of start it off right. You can just kind of see how it is, how you feel it, see how you feel doing it, and then charge people. You can live, a mechanic can work on a car and get to know all of its parts, all of its pieces, and hold a class where people can come in, take it, and learn something from it. And not only are you getting that satisfaction of teaching somebody, because let's face it, we all want to be able to teach somebody something, be able to hustle. That way they can bring it to their family and it builds on and it's more of a productive community. So being able to teach what you know is super important. Being able to know who you are and what you like to do is super important. But it also takes a lot of discipline, stewardship, and determination. So stewardship, that also leads me into our vocabulary word of the day, which is engrossed. Engrossed means concentrated, focused, and in some terms, driven. Okay? You got to be driven. You got to be engrossed in your career. And as a man, to be able to provide also means you have to be able to be in love with what you're doing. Okay? You don't want to just be able to provide and not be happy. You know, that's weird. Why wouldn't you be happy? Right? So being able to be engrossed in your career and focused and driven on what you want to do is key to building a pretty successful life. Then the next one is online tutoring. Okay. Just like you can teach somebody in person with a car, with psychology. I'm a psychology guy, so taking psychology classes is something that I think is pretty fun. But you can do things like that in person, or you can do some online tutoring. I knew a girl who raised like $1,000 in a month just doing online tutoring as a side job. And as she got better into it, she decided to make that her business. She decided to build on that, teach people how, really, I think she was doing math. I think she was just teaching people math, and she was really great at it in high school. In college, I think she majored in mathematics or business or something like that. And she started teaching younger kids, middle teens, young adults, and some adults about how to do either basic math, college level math, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. Some stuff I wasn't into. More power to her. If you listen to this, congrats to you. She knows who she is. But she started doing online tutoring, and she really started making a killing off of it. And it really inspired me. I was like, man, that's some stuff that if you really look into it, can help out so much, not only in your own pockets, but somebody else's pockets. And who doesn't want to give back to the community? Other than that, the next one is, let me go back to my notes here. Investing. Yeah. You have to invest, okay? Investing is it holds a lot of weight. It's a pretty strong word. So we're not going to say invest. We're going to say save, okay? So saving and knowing what to do with your money is got to be right underneath knowing what you like to do. Investing and saving go hand in hand, because once you save, you can get the things that you want to get. For me, myself, like I said, I'm doing this off of my own iPhone with some earbuds that I'm talking into in my sister's house, okay? I plan on obviously getting my own setup to where that way I can bring you guys good content. It's going to take some money to make some money, okay? Scared money don't make no money. All right. And life insurance. Okay. A lot of people not gonna understand this because I think some of my crowd don't have kids. But then again, I know a lot of people that do got kids. And I want to give a shout out to the dads that are parents. It ain't easy being cheesy. Investing in life insurance is super important because, hypothetically speaking, if something goes down, you don't want to leave your family with nothing. Okay? That's kind of messed up. It's rude if you ask me. So people who do have kids, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I have a guy in California doing financial service marketing, and he's really, really great at his job. He takes care of me. He got me on a policy. He's a really great man. His name is Robert Dotto. I'll have to link him in the description below. If you're looking for life insurance, good life insurance, cheap life insurance, and insurance that's going to actually help you, I'll link that all in the description below. And lastly, what I believe that can help you make some passive income is renting out your vehicle or a room in your house. You can rent it out. That way you can put some more cash back in your pockets. Obviously, you want to lay down some boundaries and keep it strict like mama in the kitchen. Rent a car. I believe it's called Toro Rent a Car. You can go in there, put your car in there, and people use this app to be able to get around, obviously, from visiting from out of town, and they don't want to use, some type of big name company. Turo is a good app that you can use in order to kind of get that jump started. Look into it. It's on, you can get it on iTunes. I mean, not iTunes, Apple Store, and also the Play Store, Google Play Store. Now, transition. I'm pretty hungry. I know a lot of people are pretty hungry. Man, let me tell you, my most favorite home cooked meal has to be that barbecue, dog. That barbecue. Shout out to my Uncle Prentice. That man would lay it down. He put some ribs on the grill, some brisket, some sausage, some pork chops, links, anything and everything you can think of, man. He was putting it down, some chicken, and he'd be out there for a couple of hours and, man, feed everybody. It was like Jesus when he fed thousands with some fish and some bread, right? All right, my kings, next thing I want y'all to think about is finding what makes you happy, right? Being happy with your inner self. Go back to your childhood and kind of think about shit that made you happy, stuff that made you that made you excited to get out of bed, made you excited to go to school, made you excited to deal with some of the stuff that was kind of scary, right? What was the things that made you happy back then that you can kind of look back at now and be like, maybe I can get back into that? I really want y'all to think about that. Okay, something for me, man, pro wrestling. For a couple of years before these last probably 4 or 5 years, pro wrestling was not really the coolest thing to me. Okay, a lot of people fell out of love with it, and that's cool. Me, I really kept going around the sport. I got back into amateur wrestling, and I thought that dude, I think his name was Gable Swanson or Swanson. I can't remember his name. Swanson. I keep butchering his name. Forgive me. But the dude is a all-American world champion, an Olympic champion in wrestling. And I started kind of digging deeper into it and saw this company, AEW, man. They started really taking the aspect of pro wrestling and magnifying it. Now, I don't go a week without watching my show. You guys, anybody that's around me, pro wrestling is probably the greatest thing. I can vouch for it. It's one of the greatest things to experience. I'm trying to get to one of these live shows. The last one that I went to was WrestleMania 25 or something like that. I went with some family members, and I was sitting kind of up high, kind of not too high, not in nosebleed seats, but I was kind of in the middle pack. I was about, give or take, 10 at the time. And I thought it was one of the coolest experiences in my entire life. And that really kind of stuck with me. So now, trying to be a ref in all 50 states, man, I'm trying to do football refereeing, and sometimes I'm going to look into pro wrestling refereeing. Just stuff that I want to do that I know I can make a passive income in, and also teach. There's some stuff that I can tell y'all about pro wrestling, obviously finances, but pro wrestling was my fucking first love. I love pro wrestling, man. The way that they move is like an art. It's a form of art that keeps people on the edge of their toes. It's like going to the circus and seeing somebody falling off of some shit. Like you don't want to see them hurt themselves, but it's so awesome to witness. Next thing we're gonna talk about is picking up new skills. Okay, get into something that you don't know. Get out of your comfort zone. Pick up a book. I can't tell you. I mean, I thought it was stupid my damn self. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna watch a book? Do they got a movie on it? They don't got a movie on it? Oh, okay. It must not be that good then. I had to get out of that mindset, man. I started reading a couple of different books. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. You can tell I don't read books. But I started looking at a lot of stuff that I was reading just at the barbershop. Any shop that I'm in, I pick up a magazine, something that just sparks my eye, and I kind of look into it and I read it and kind of learn some stuff about it. But it's different skills that we can be learning and implying them or implementing them in our everyday lives. Something that can help us out, help out somebody else, and really just one step at a time change the world. I know it's a big ask, it's a big step in terms of, moving on in our lives, but how I see it is that when it comes to our careers, we have to be a little selfish. We have to be, because we want to be the best. We want to be able to be the number one in whatever that is. Doesn't matter what it is. But when it comes to helping out somebody else, it's so much easier to be helpful to your neighbor, to a person that you probably haven't even met, and be able to teach them things that you believe helped you out in your life. You never know what somebody's going through. So being able to talk to somebody and being like, oh, he learned to invest properly. He learned to fix a car properly. He learned to fix a light bulb. He learned to work on this, that, and the other thing. And he was able to implement that in a way that he can make a passive income off of it. To where that way we can really, kind of change this world around. It's too negative, man. This world is way too negative. And being able to change that one conversation at a time, doesn't matter how big or how little, it goes a long way. It goes a lot longer than we originally think, especially as men. Okay, we got a lot of ego, we got a lot of pride, and a lot of people don't really check in on us. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to tap in with you. Tap in with me, I'm going to tap in with you, and we're going to be gravy. We're going to be golden, Goose. Last thing we're going to talk about here, but for my men, is getting our shit together. It's a tough task. It's a tough conversation, I understand. But we as black men, I see too many of us that are down in the dumps, simps, betas, even though we are some kings. And that doesn't even mean, that's not even no sexual jab. It's me putting us on notice, whether it's black men, white men, Mexicans, Indonesians, doesn't matter. We need to get our shit together. And that goes in various different forms, right? It goes from being able to have control over our own body and our own opinions and keeping our thoughts and our shit to ourselves and projecting them into the world in a more positive, productive way. We only got one temple, guys. We only got one temple, and it belongs to us. Also goes into taking care of your kids. Okay? It goes into so many different areas in our lives that we need to be held accountable for. We can't go the rest of our lives hiding from shit, running away from shit. We got to be able to address the issues at hand and reform our way of thinking into a way that helps other people. I know we got a lot of ego, we got a lot of pride. Listen, all that shit gets thrown out the door once you die. At the end of the day, none of that shit matters. Why not give your legacy something that they can look into, something they can look onto? Because you never know. You never know what your words, what your actions might do, what you're doing. You never know who's looking. So be respectful, not only of other people, but yourself. Have some self-respect. Self-respect goes in many, many different forms. That's a whole nother conversation that you have to keep tuning into in order to find out what I mean. But self-respect goes so far. I'm 24, going to be 25 years old, and I'm getting this. I'm understanding this. Like, it's the other side of the, like, all I got to do is look around and say, oh, hey, look, self-respect. I got it. And knowing that we have the victory. I'm a Christian man. I got the victory. I got it. Okay? Understand that we need to get our shit together. From ages, from the time that you know right from wrong to the time that you are now. This is your life, man. Take control of it. And at this time, we have the Royal Show. We're going to start with the boy MoolieDaFoolie. He making music. I got his music playing right now. So go ahead and check him out. He's on YouTube, I believe on Spotify. Also Apple Music, keeping it beyond. A lyrical genius. Next, my artist of the month, Alondra Medina. She's a beautiful, awesome artist, and she is going to be responsible for making my logo for the Unforgivable podcast, my Unforgivable channel. So be aware, stay tuned for that. Next guy, Robert Dotto. Like I said, the dude in California, he's doing financial service marketing. Get to him. I'll be able to tag his stuff in the description below. Then I want to give a shout out to my boy Alex Solomon. He's got a podcast called The Hokage and the Snail Game. They talk about anime, stuff like that, so get into them. These guys are funny and super entertaining. Next thing, graduation shout outs. I want to shout out to Centennial graduates, Mayfield graduates, Waco High graduates. A couple of my cousins just graduated. Shout out Taylor Tucker. Go ahead and get your bag, queen. Just want to make sure every high school, college graduate knows that this is a big fucking step. Now you got that piece of paper that'll get you to work anywhere the fuck you want to work. Any place you want to work. So don't underestimate yourself. Everything that you got coming to you is going to be well earned and well deserved. Then for my online interviews, I'm still working on it, okay? So my boy London Henderson, he got on the call with me, and we weren't able to get it all working out. Something was wrong with the sound. I couldn't get the sound on there. So I'm still working on my online interview, guys. But whenever I do, you'll be hearing from my guests very, very shortly. As far as upcoming stuff goes, I'm going to have a gaming channel set up pretty soon. You want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Go to my website. My website is going to be in everything and all my bios. So just click that link in my bios and you'll be able to get to my website pretty easily. I'm also on Reddit. So if you go down to Reddit, if you download the app, follow the Unforgivable channel, you'll be able to interact with my Legion section. I just got it started. But getting into that, tap into that, that's where the king can look at all your comments, concerns, topics that you want me to talk about on the show. Where I can really interact with my Legion, with my people. If you're not into it, get into it. Let my people speak. As we wrap up today's episode, remember that it is always a blessing to be a blessing. All right, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share me out, guys. I'm hoping to be able to reach out to every young king who don't know that they're a king. I'm hoping to reach out to them, build their confidence, and help them be a little bit more happy in their life. In the meantime and in between time, go!
When I'm in the mood, I can't go out there. Not talking about bitches, I'm talking about stacks. I tried from the bando, now I'm living. Young slave nigga, put up with a pistol. Now I'm on the business.